A special shout out to the Air Naked family because they put together the fundraisers for the shirts, and they've just been really good to me with lots of support. But I'm good. I feel good. I'm doing better every day. So, making a good recovery. I think that God has a lot to do with it, and He has plans for me in the future. Well, I remember everything up until I remember getting in the plane and feeling that rush of excitement, and I remember jumping out of the plane and looking up and seeing that there was a complication with the parachute, and so I started kicking my feet like I was taught in the class, and I looked up and it still wasn't fixing, so I tried to pull the toggles apart, and I just was not strong enough to fight off the wind. So I just remember screaming, and then I blacked out, and I don't remember anything after that until 3 days after.
She had a little bleeding in her brain, so she had some bleeding in the front of her brain. She had some fractures to her mid-back or her thoracic spine, some vertebral compression fractures. She had some rib fractures. She had a liver laceration, which they went in and stopped the bleeding, and then the renal, she had a kidney laceration, and initially she had some pneumothoraces, or her lungs, like air in her lungs, or around her lungs, so, and some dental fractures, yeah, like an ear infection. Yeah, she's been recovering very well. Like I told her, she's lucky in that a lot of her injuries or fractures weren't like, they were still in line. So nothing got really damaged around where the bone was broken. So that was good. And but she's still been like really, her hard work has really played a role in this, because she's been working really hard and really motivated with the therapies and everything, and even a lot of it too is just her, with the bleeding in the brain, there's going to be some like slowing, cognitive slowing, and just fatigue, like you can get pretty tired doing tasks, where before she did a lot. She was very active even in school and her schoolwork, so I think that was initially a little frustrating, but she's already like really improved with all of that even. So even with her fractures and the pain that she's had, she's really progressed pretty fast. Yeah, I think she has a lot of like kind of stress, and then just recovering, and this is all new and dealing with the pain, and so and someone like as young as she is to be able to cope with all of that.
They told me, my parents told me, and I was shocked. Like, I don't think it really hit me at what had happened. I was just.
She was heavily medicated, so
Yeah.
Once she started waking up, she remembered things that she doesn't remember that she remembers at the time. I mean, things come and go to her as far as the accident happened, but she did tell us things right after when they took the tube out of her mouth and everything, that she doesn't remember even today. I mean,
They've done a lot. Like, their support really, really makes me feel good, and I know that they really care about me, and it really keeps me going. They're my motivation, wanting to please them, and everything that they've done with the fundraisers and stuff, it's always been something that I wanted to do. Like, for many years, I've wanted to skydive. Like, it's always been on my bucket list, and I was going to do it for graduation, and it's going to be a graduation present, but for some reason, I got online and started looking it up, and I saw that in Oklahoma you could be 16 if your aunt could sit. So I called my dad right away, and I was like, Dad, please, let's go skydiving. Like, I want to do this so bad. And well, she told me in school, she texted me, and she was like, I don't want to sign this paper. I'm going to have to think about it a lot harder and talk to your dad about it. And so I texted back. I was like, Mom, really? I was like, please just sign the paper. And I was just begging her. And after talking to my dad, I think there's a limit on what 16-year-olds should do and what they shouldn't do. I think this is my second chance to do better than I was doing. In the future, I've always wanted to be a surgeon, and now I know that I want to specialize in trauma so I can relate to the patients more. I think this has just made me get a better look on life.
Mom, you look surprised.
About, well, she said that, of course, that she's going to do better. She excels in everything she does, so that's why I was kind of surprised, like, what's she, you know, hey, maybe that grade point average will go up just that little bit more.
She's making good progress. She's already like walking like over 150 feet, like a good amount. She's still using a walker because we're still waiting to see if she can put weight through her leg. But we're hoping that will be very soon. And then, yeah, she's doing a lot. She's working a lot with speech therapy and working on like her homework, stuff like that. So she can get back to school. But we also discussed, you know, giving her body time to heal and getting back into things gradually. Like her mom said, she's very, very motivated, like excels in everything she does. So I think for her, she wants to really get back to where she was. I think as far as the fractures and stuff go, I think she'll be walking on her own very soon, maybe even within
Good, great.
months.
I'm amazed at her. I admire her more than anyone in the world.
I know I was scared, and I know that there was something very wrong. I think I was focused on how I could fix it and what I could do, but I don't really know. I think I went into shock.
Yes, but I wasn't sure it was her. There was supposed to be someone before her, and I couldn't see at that altitude, you know, who it was, exactly who came out. But I had a pretty good idea, you know. I had a feeling. I'll never forget the look on her face and how she looked when I ran up on her when she was on the ground. I mean, that was horrific, you know. But and now, I just think, God, if only listen pretty hard. I'm glad he didn't listen to the beginning. You know, but I was pretty mad. I was blaming him at first. You know, couldn't understand it why it would be her. But then gonna realize that she has a purpose. You know, she's got plans for her.
I didn't know I was going to jump solo until we had already gone there, and I found out later. So, when I'm in physical therapy and I'm walking, that doesn't really bother me because, you know, I'm standing and I'm moving and I can walk with the walker, so that doesn't really bother me. But cognitively in speech therapy, when we're working on like math problems and it's like, it feels like it's third grade math and I have problems doing some of it, so that just, it is frustrating. Like, I've got to the point where I've cried doing math because it just feels like I
The
can't
progress
do it.
she's made in this amount of time, that, yeah, she has very good prognosis. But I think like physically she's going to probably get better faster, and then just working on some of just the cognitive part is, which I think it'll improve more as the healing occurs, and as she's just the fatigue of it. I think I don't know, like I really, but you know, like I kind of said, I've seen a lot of amazing things and stories and people survive things, and you know, I don't know that I can ever explain it, and I'm not necessarily like a physicist who knows like how does this correlate with that, and But, you know, I understand the desire to explain it, because, you know, I look at science and kind of unexplained, but really I don't know, you know, so just an amazing story.